Winner number 5. 5. This girl went hard. Nice. Okay. The girl in the do-rag.
Big dreams. I think I was made for the big screen. Yeah.
What is up, everybody? This is Hanna, and I am here with Sports Scene for the weekend turn up. Shout out to Adidas and shout out to Sports Scene for having me. It's gonna be super dope. Stay tuned.
I've been doing this since I was 16. Yeah. Big dreams. I think I was made for the big screen.
My Zimbabwean Ethiopian heritage is pretty simple. My dad is Zimbabwean and my mom is Ethiopian. I grew up in Zim, born and raised. I only really moved to Cape Town in 2017 for uni. So yeah, I spent my whole life in Zim, and I had a really strong Ethiopian influence on my life because there was such a strong, like, vibrant Ethiopian community in Zim, and being a part of that really, like, influenced me. And you know, a lot of the cultural aspects of Ethiopia rubbed off on me and my sister and just my family in general. And I think that was like the main sort of community we existed in. So that was pretty great.
I'm an artist, and I guess I'm on demand. I'm like, nah, it's dead. I'ma go home instead. I don't really do clubs unless it's our event. I can't wait until they try to put me on again. Yeah, yeah. You should look at
my introduction to music kind of happened in different stages. The first real introduction to music I had instrumentally was kind of at school. A lot of my family was, you know, musically inclined, played instruments, like did musical things. Not really in my immediate family. My parents never really played music around the house that much. It wasn't really a big thing. So my main source of music was school and friends and my sister, who like started playing piano, and like I got into that too. I started playing piano, I started playing the guitar, started playing the marimba at school, and that really was cool. You know, it was like a different sense of like community for me, which was great. And yeah, my second introduction, I think my first introduction to rap was actually here in Cape Town. I think I might have been like 6 or younger, and we were here on vacation with my uncles and here in like Hout Bay or something. And I remember my cousins were playing Eminem. They were listening to Eminem, Lose Yourself. I don't know if it just came out. I don't know like what the time frame was, but they were playing it, and my sister were like, this is really dope. I really like this. And we're like, yeah, okay. And from then on, I think we like, you know, had like a little bit of an inkling towards rap. And the main turning point for me in music was when I was like, I want to say around 15, and my sister introduced me to J. Cole. And she played me one of his old songs, Lost Ones. And I really, really connected with it, like on a completely different level. Like I felt like the way that he was able to like relay his emotions and just like communicate and emote through these words in this song was just completely different to anything I'd ever experienced. I've always been inclined to words, you know, I've been a huge reader, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. And that was just a different arena for me, you know, in terms of like how those words were being used. And I was like, okay, this is cool. I always loved writing stories and stuff in school, but this was completely different. So from that moment on, it just changed the way that I viewed rap and just music and communication in general. And so that was like the main turning point. So yeah.
16s. I've been doing this since I was 16. Had to put it on for the big teams. Handoffs, no gon' get me. Yeah. 16s. I've been doing this since I was 16. Yeah.
It's so crazy the way that this happened. So, I mean, like I said, you know, I was just listening to music at that point, and I really enjoyed like reciting other people's stuff. I wasn't really interested in writing my own. I wasn't super interested in, you know, anything beyond just enjoying the music. And then at some point, one of my best friends in high school, his name is Ray. I mean, he was super into rap as well. And he was like another person who played a huge influence in like, you know, what I was listening to. And yeah, he used to write, and he's one of the most talented people I know. So, you know, a lot of that rubbed off on me, and I was like, okay, let me try it out too. And I remember I used to tell people, I don't write, I won't write, I'll never write my own music. And eventually here I was. We used to freestyle in this car after school. It was really cool. And yeah, you know, after that, I came to uni, and my sister put me onto the UCT Hip Hop Society, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Let me check it out. And they have these cyphers every Wednesday, and they used to have these cyphers, and people would come around, listen to them. And I used to go every week, and I was always super shy, you know, I didn't really want to like, you know, say anything, because these guys were super crazy, and they were like freestyling off the top. They were dope, and I was like, damn, these guys are really cool. And one week when they were, at the end of the week, where they were like, yo, like, anyone want to share something? I was like, okay, you know, maybe me. They're like, okay, cool, come through. And I shared like something I wrote in high school, and like people really liked it, and I was really shocked. So I was like, damn, okay, that's cool. And from that moment on, I had like a lot more confidence, and I started, you know, getting deeper into the society, and eventually we were doing this mixtape for the society, and that was really dope. But it didn't end up happening. But you know, we had written all the songs, we'd done all the pairings and everything, and I was stuck with this music, and I was like, oh, this really dope verse that I wrote, and I really like it. So I was like, okay, let me just, you know, put it on Instagram. Like, why not? And that verse is the first verse, one of the first videos I ever really like put on Instagram. And I remember going to sleep and waking up, and it was just everywhere. And I was like, holy shit, what is going on? It was everywhere on Twitter. You know, I was getting so much like engagement from so many different people. Major people in the industry like DJ Clark. I remember, you know, after one of my tuts, came outside and people were like, have you seen? And I was like, okay, no. And they're like, go check your Instagram. So I check it and I see this comment from Nasty C, and I was like, oh my God. And I was losing my shit. And I was like, I was like, you know, I was obsessed. And I was like, okay, this is great. Like, I like this feeling. This is cool. And from then on, I kind of started, you know, getting into like studio. People started inviting me to studio. One thing led to another. I was doing competitions. I did Empower Africa with Mr. Easy, and I didn't think I was going to win that, but I was one of the winners, and I only found out like on the first day of 2019, and I was like the 95th person out of 100 people they picked. So by that point, I was like, nah, it's fine, I don't care. I didn't make it, it's cool, and all my friends had made it, and I was like, damn. And then I did Lift As You Rise, and that, you know, just completely blew everything out of the water for me, gave me a network that is now like, you know, my immediate musical connection. I met my management team that I work with now, Africa Creative Agency, and, you know, all of those things kind of just led to the place I'm at now. Yeah.
She do not want to drink from you, don't get it twisted. I work too hard for the vision. Might have to get on the Ritalin. I need the bands, I want the keys, I want the fans, give me a beat.
People always ask me about, you know, juggling music and school and what it's like, and honestly, I always tell them there's no balance. It just doesn't exist. There's never been a balance. I don't think there ever will be. It's always just been sacrifice on either end. It's either I'm sacrificing school, or I'm sacrificing music, or I'm sacrificing myself. And it's just like, you know, I'm losing sleep, or I'm losing time with my friends, or I'm just losing personal free time for like self-care and all of these things. And it's always just, you know, it's different in every moment. Sometimes there are things I just can't say no to in music. Sometimes there are things I just can't compromise in school. And, you know, it's important to me to do both, and I think I can't do one without the other. I don't think I can quite stand school without doing music to keep me sane, and I don't think I can stay in South Africa doing music if I'm not in school. So it's a balancing act between the two. But I recognize they're both important. So yeah, it's been tricky, you know. There have been times when, I mean, for Lift As You Rise, I did Lift As You Rise in between 2 exams, and that was crazy. I had to write an exam, go to Lift As You Rise, come back, study for my last exam, do that. For the listening party of Lift As You Rise, you know, I had to fly to Joburg the weekend before my first exam last year, which was crazy, you know, and that was stressful. All of these things were hard, but I had to do them because I was like, what am I going to pass up these opportunities? And if I did, I wouldn't be here now. And I mean, it was hard. I'm not going to say that it's easy for anyone, you know, looking to do the same, but it'll be worth it if you make the right sacrifices, I think.
Running on the beat, I ain't never been lazy. Cast on the beat, ain't nobody gonna chase me. Making my way through this industry, you can't erase me, and you can't replace me.
I'm not quite sure where I see both of these parts of me going, you know, school and music. I do know one thing. I never want to go back to school after this. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm out. Screw it. It's okay. I think I've had enough, and like trying to do engineering and computer science is one of the hardest things I've ever done. I've always been academic, but this is a whole different level, and maybe it's because I'm juggling 2 things. Multiple things actually at once, but I do think that right now my primary focus is music, and it would be great if music could be the main thing that I do. But I also recognize that it's not something I think I could do solely because it's so consuming, and I feel like I get so deep into making music, I can forget to eat, forget to see people, forget to sleep. All of these things, they just kind of fall away when I'm making music. So I think even though I think I hate it, you know, school keeps me grounded in that it gives me something else to do. It takes me away from, you know, something that could really like swallow me whole. So I think, yeah, you know, I don't know if I'd ever use my degree. I hope that it will be useful, and I think it's taught me a lot about hard work, sacrifice, problem solving. It's taught me teamwork, and all of these things kind of like go into everything. So I think, yeah, you know, I'm hoping that I'll use both of these things in everything I do in life, you know? I think that's the best case scenario. I think it's really narrow to think about just doing one of each, or like, you know, specifically doing them in specific contexts, so yeah.
Bring it again, I'm feeling the wave. feeling the wave, pushing the wave, I'm bringing the wave, put it away, bring it again, I'm feeling the wave, feeling the wave, put it away, bring it again, feeling the wave, feeling the wave, bring it away.
The Girl in the Do-Rag. So it's the title track of my mixtape. I mean, it's one of my favorite songs. It's actually like the last song I think I made for this project. And yeah, I mean, it happened really weirdly. My friend was one of my, best friends, and he's also one of my favorite producers, was playing this beat on his Instagram, and I was like, send me that now, right now. So he texted me this beat, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. It was a different vibe, it was kind of like drill, it was kind of like hip hop. I was like, okay, I like this. And I mean, I immediately started, I just immediately came up with the hook, and most of the hook was kind of like a freestyle. So yeah, and in that specific song, actually, what's really cool is the second verse of that song is that first verse that I posted on Instagram that really like boosted everything for me. And the first verse is something I wrote during Lift As You Rise. And I think that song kind of centers around, the whole project centers around this idea of like the girl in the do-rag, which is, what most people's first introduction to me was through Lift As You Rise. And I was wearing this do-rag in my video, and I was like, ah! And they were like, oh, who is this? And like, in the opening of the single, I put this snippet of Nasty C, Rolene, all of these guys talking, and they're like, the girl in the do-rag. And I was like, that's my project name. I immediately knew, and so it's kind of what the song is about, yeah.
Wave, feeling the wave, I bring it up.
Wow, I don't even know where to start for this mixtape. Okay, so the Girl in the Do-Rag started off as just an idea. I mean, right after I first got thrown into the limelight, with my videos on Instagram and trying to keep that momentum going, I knew, I was like, okay, I'm gonna need to drop a project, a mixtape, an EP, something, because I feel like people have an idea of what I do, and all they've seen is this little glimpse that I give them through Instagram. They think I'm just a lyricist, a rapper. I just do this, and that's it. And I wanted to show them, more, because there is more, a lot more. It's like a tiny little window into me. And so I knew I wanted to do a project, but I didn't know what it was going to be like. I didn't know when. I knew I wanted to do it before 2019. And I mean, it didn't end up happening, but I think that was kind of a blessing in disguise, because I think, 2020 brought a whole lot of new resources, networks, and just a completely different approach to the way that the mixtape was going to roll out. So yeah, I mean, it started off as that idea. We started working on it late 2019. Okay, technically I started working on it from when I started making music. There's songs in there. The intro song is something I wrote in 2017, I think. And so it ranges over all of those years. And I think in 2019 we went to Red Bull. Most of it was recorded there. We got into the studio, and I just had a bunch of my artist friends come through, and we recorded a bunch of different songs, and most of them were just centered around different experiences I had.
Lift As You Rise. Let's go. Hey. I'm really here with all the pen game. I've been a closer from the jump. I'm getting closer to the front. I'm getting colder to the touch. I'm really putting on my best game. Never had to roll up to be blunt. I say it straight up, no confront. I had to pray to know what's up. I put my city on, look at me. Even my enemies booking me. Everybody's trying to get a good look at me. Had to step back to admire just how much you took from me. Now I'm on top and I'm popping off. Hearts in my DMs, they dropping off. Look, you can female rapping me, but that's not protecting these niggas from what I'm on. I kill a beat and I'm gone, I'm out, yeah. I don't need you for the clout, yeah. When I was down, you weren't down, yeah. Now you wanna come around, look, I'm seeing right through your smile, just save it. I can't wait to play these niggas spaceships. I said it once and I say it again. Once we drop this shit, man, they'll know the name, hey, yeah.
And I didn't know until after I finished making all the music that, there was some sort of consistent theme to what it was. At first I thought it was just, songs, and, they were all different genres. There wasn't really a theme until I realized, okay, each of these songs represents a different point of my journey so far, heartbreak, relationship, falling in love, Lift As You Rise, after Lift As You Rise, all of these different things. So it was really cool. I mean, it was testing too. We started working on this mixtape at a very trying time. I mean, it was literally the week after we had the tragedy of, the passing of Uyinene, which was terrible. And this was planned way before. And we were all lost for words. So I think a lot of emotions went into those studio sessions. It was actually something that we all really kind of needed at that time. So yeah, working with different people was great. I worked with my friends, and that was the most important thing to me, because I didn't want to make a project that was, major people, and that's not to say that they're not great. I didn't want it to be, I wanted it to be about me now. And right now I'm working with my friends, and that's who I'm going to work with forever, So producers, Beatsmith, one of my best friends, he produced The Girl in the Do-Rag. I worked with Zeno D, who was, one of the dopest producers here in South Africa. And, he's also a very good friend, one of the first people that I met in the industry. And he's one of the first people who actually told me about Lift As You Rise. So that's pretty crazy. Some of the songs, I did one song in Joburg with Luna Florentino, which was really cool. He was so random. We're having a studio session. I didn't really want to feature on that song, but he was listening to it and I couldn't finish the song until he finished it. And I was like, you're the missing key this whole time. So all of these different songs. A really good friend of mine, Michaela, they're so talented. They post videos of themselves singing on Instagram, and I immediately knew, I want you on my project. I don't know when it's gonna be, but you're gonna be on it. And now they are. I worked with Dakari, super big producer. He produces for G-Eazy. He's amazing. He's Zimbabwean as well. So it was a lot of friends, a lot of personal connections that I had. New friends, old friends. I worked with my good friend Nalu, who everyone knows that we're really close, and having her come in and work on a song with me was really special too. And all of these things happened. We been trying to roll it out for almost a year now, but finally we're here. 9th of October, it's coming out, so I'm super excited about that. Pull up with a gang, I'm lit. There's so many little different things that happen for each song that I could get into, but I think the main thing is, I think everything just kind of happened the way it was supposed to, whether it was easy or not. And I'm really happy with it. It's different. I don't think it's what people are going to expect, which is cool. And I like that. Whether or not I think people, are happy with what it is, I'm happy with it. And I think I'd rather be the only person who loves my music than the only person who hates it, And I think that would be the worst. So I'm proud of it. And I think it's going to do really well, at least, if not, in numbers, at least in impact, which is what's important to me. So yeah, The Girl in the Do-Rag, 9th of October, it's coming soon. Got some more surprises coming too, which I'm really excited about. And I've had the privilege of working with an amazing team, amazing PR, amazing management, great, mixing and musical resources. So it's definitely sounding a little more like an album now, but it's fine. It's still a mixtape. I'm happy with it. And yeah, I'm really excited for people to hear it. Really am. That road is lit, so no hands on my shit. My Instagram name, my social media name, The Real Niggest. I feel like, people always asking me what that means. Where does it come from? What is it? Who is it? Where is it? I feel like it's something I've always wanted to clear up, so I feel like I should clear it up now. Niggest is a word in an Ethiopian language that means queen. It means ruler. It's a title of royalty. So you say Queen Sheba, Niggest Sheba, that would be, how it's used. And I mean, my first introduction to it was through my mom, but because I heard Kendrick Lamar saying, the word Negro or nigga came from the word Nagus, which is the Ethiopian word for king. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. What is the word for queen? And my mom's like, it's Niggest. And I was like, oh. And I'd always wanted to call myself the real nigga, but nigga has some really different connotations to it. There's some negative connotations. There's a lot of controversy around the word in general, and also it has a lot of male connotations to it too. And I didn't really feel comfortable calling myself that. And so, this name to me it was perfect, part of my Ethiopian heritage, something that, meant something to me and something that was like a play on words too, the real niggest. And so that's where it came from. To everybody who's been asking me relentlessly for the past God knows how many years, but it's fine because I know that it is an important name, and I'm really glad that's the name I got stuck with, not Hanna 345. So yeah. I've been doing this since I was 16. Yeah, 16. I've been doing this since I was 16. Had to put it on for the big teams. This has been the Weekend Turn Up. Thank you so much for having me, Sports Scene. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Adidas for the drip. My new mixtape is coming out on the 9th of October. Please make sure you tune in to see it. My name is Hanna. I'll see you guys out there. All the friends, cause I'm an artist and I guess I'm on demand. I'm like, nah, it's dead, I'ma go home instead. I don't really do clubs unless it's our event. I can't wait until they try to put me on again. Yeah, you should look at my DMs, it's too lit. You do not know me, stop assuming. I'm hot, I'm fuming. You not, your 2 cents are not welcoming, nigga. We got no new friends, just a couple new fans.